Hello Bambinos and welcome back to the channel. Today I am doing a draft analysis for a brand new season of the PWC draft league that I do. So I just want to talk a little bit about PWC firsthand. So last season, season 4, was my very first season of doing any type of draft league whatsoever. My first experience with draft league. And it was a lot of fun. I ended up coming second. But in the second division of the PWC, they had 2 divisions last season, and because I said I'm a complete novice to draft, they put me in the second division, and I ended up coming second, and that got me promotion up into the first division of the PWC. So yep, I'm up with the big boys now. Hopefully I don't get my ass kicked every week this season, so there's that. But yeah, they've expanded. They've got 3 divisions now. I've got a friend down in the second division. The minors is what it's called. Yeah, it's going to be fun. So what I'm going to do here is just go over my team, my draft, and talk about why I made my picks and why I think it's an okay team. One thing to note about this draft league is they've got something quite unique, I think, with the signature pick. So you can see there next to my team logo, SIG. So your signature had to be your first pick in the draft, and it always had to be from the B tier. And you have to bring your signature every week, so you know that your opponent's signature is coming, because you have to bring it every week. So that was the first pick we had to make, and I actually wanted something else. I ended up with Spectral. Spectral is my signature mon. I actually wanted Empoleon, but Empoleon got sniped before I could even get my first pick in, so I ended up going Spectral, which I'm not all that comfortable with, to be honest. Spectral is quite one-dimensional, so it's quite easy to prepare for, but at the same time it's quite obnoxious in the fact that it can just steamroll teams once it starts getting those boosts and whatnot, so it's definitely something that my opponents are going to have to worry about. But yeah, that's what I ended up going for my SIG. I'll explain why I wanted Empoleon. Basically because of my next pick, I knew straight away, before we even started, that I wanted to draft Zapdos. Because I love Zapdos, and I just really wanted to do a season with Zapdos on my squad. I haven't done that before. This is now my 5th season of draft. So like, last season of this was my first. Since then, I've done 3 other seasons and started a second season of something else as well. So this is my 5th time drafting a team. I do 3 different drafts. This one is a singles Nat Dex. That's something I forgot to say. This is Nat Dex over on Showdown. I do a singles draft league on Cart with the TPL, and I do a VGC draft league with the VDL. So I like to play 3 different kind of metas because I love all the metas, to be honest. So yeah, my next pick was Zapdos, and that's kind of why I wanted Empoleon, because Empoleon is great protection for Zapdos. It resists both the Zapdos weaknesses, as well as being just a great utility mon. But it wasn't to be. I ended up going with Spectral. So then, my next pick, I stuck with the S tier, and I brought in Mega Venusaur, because Mega Venusaur is a bulky boy. And again, when I was picking my teams, I was kind of looking at Empoleon to be my SIG, and Empoleon also would have protected Venusaur, but I kind of still stuck with Venusaur and replaced my Empoleon option later on down the line. So yeah, I've got my Grassmon now, Zapdos as well. Then my next pick that I made was Chansey over in the A tier. Now I thought Chansey's a fantastic special wall. We all know its bulky capabilities, but I thought it also actually works really well with Spectral. Having these 2 as complements to each other. So, you know, if they want to throw a fighting type move at Chansey, you go into Spectral. If they want to throw a fighting ghost type move for Spectral, you go into Chansey, and they kind of complement each other that way. So they're pretty dangerous to have on a team together, at least in my head. Hopefully it goes down that way. My next pick was Crocodile, and I like Crocodile. Crocodile's like one of my favourite mons. It's a good mon. I wanted a good ground type. I wanted a solid ground type. I think you always need to have a solid ground type on a draft team. It also protects Venusaur nicely from those psychic type moves. Because really Venusaur's only weaknesses after Thick Fat are flying and psychic, if I'm not wrong. So I've got like flying protection here on Zapdos and psychic protection here on Crocodile. So yeah, just trying to make my mons complement each other as well as I can. You know, water type moves going into Croc. I can switch into Venusaur. The one thing I am accumulating right now is an ice type weakness with these two, and that only being neutral with Thick Fat. But I'll get into my team as we go on. A little bit confusing because my next pick here actually says Metagross. It wasn't actually Metagross. I actually made a trade in the grace period after the draft finished. I first of all picked Registeel because I just wanted a fantastic defensive switch in for, like, again, my Venusaur and Zapdos. Like, I can just switch into Metagross on all of their weaknesses. You know, Rock, Ice, Fly and Psychic. Metagross just covers all their weaknesses so well. So does Registeel. But then you'll see as I keep going, I thought I was kind of lacking on the physical offense side, so I swapped out Registeel for Metagross. And that kind of patches that weakness. The next mon I picked was Nihilego. Now Nihilego is a monster on its own, you know, especially with the new Meteor Beam Power Herb trick. That can just like start rolling through teams pretty scarily. But it's also fast. You know, I've got two fast mons here now. Crocodile's not slow, Zapdos isn't slow, but these two are really fast. Also, like, there's Toxic Spikes plus like Specs Hex. That can be like deadly. Specs Hex when spikes are up. Another rocker. I now have like 4 rockers already, so it's going to be pretty tricky for my opponent to know which of my mons is carrying rocks. So that's another thing I like about this team. The next mon I picked was Swampert. I kind of just wanted some offensive water as well as another ground type. I just meant ground type. Yeah, you know, having its only weakness being grass when I've got steel, poison. Actually, no, you're neutral to grass. Yeah, like Zapdos, Metagross, and Venusaur just kind of work with this 4 here. The switch-ins are like amazing defensively. I'm kind of accumulating quite a bulky team here. You know, Zapdos can be a bulky boy, Venusaur's a bulky boy, Chansey very bulky, Metagross bulky on the physical side. Swampert can be quite bulky. I'm liking the team. Yeah, my next pick was Ribombi down in the C tier. Oh yeah, something I needed to mention. You get basically 3 from each tier and 2 from S. So your 3 Bs when you include your Sig, 3 Bs with 3 As, and then 2 S. Did I only get? I can't remember. You get 2 Cs and a D. So you get 3 As, 3 Bs, 2 As. Sorry, 2 S, 2 C. I have butchered this. I'm sorry. Anyway, the next mon I picked was Ribombi. Again, more speed. Fairy type, because I wanted like the fairy steel sort of core. Webs, fantastic. Yeah, good mon all around. Just fast and kind of hits quite hard. After Ribombi, I went straight on to the D tier and picked Turinator, because Turinator then... I was looking at my hazard clear. I kind of only had Defog Zapdos as my only hazard clear. So now I have Rapid Spin for 1. And Turinator also completes 2 of my type cores, you know, like the 3 type core. I now have the Steel Dragon Fairy core. And I now have the Grass, Water, Fire, Fire, Grass, Water. That core. So Turt actually, I think, will be quite important throughout the season. Just for that defensive switching and spinning away rocks if I need to. The last one I wanted to pick, not because I didn't want it, like it's all a last pick, didn't matter, but because there was ample fighting types left. I ended up going for Persimmon, but there was a lot of fighting types left. I could have gone Hitmonlee, Hitmontop, Sulk, Girder. There was a lot of decent fighting types, but I liked Persimmon as a fast offensive, you know, base 80 speed, but like Scarf with offense, Defiant, you know, if someone wants to try and intimidate my Croc, I can switch in Persimmon. Also, again, protection for Zapdos, like that Rock and Ice, you just switch in Persimmon. It's going to go defensive 1 week. Yeah, you know, just like Scarf stuff, pretty good on this thing, if you can get your Defiant boost. And that is the squad for the season. 14 teams, oh, what am I doing? Put you down, Turt. 14 teams in the league, I think, so a lot of games to get through. no playoffs as well is the thing about this league, so it is literally just you play out the season, where you finish is where you finish. So you gotta play well throughout the season. You can't just do a nasty playoffs run, kind of like what I did last season. I kind of stole a playoff spot, but then played very well in playoffs to make it to the final. Yeah, that was just a quick video I wanted to do, just to go over my team and create some content for the PWC. Shout out to Jules and Tranel and all the guys running it. The draft went pretty smoothly, I think, quite quick for like 3 divisions and 14 teams in each division. So shout out to them. Make sure you come back weekly to see my battles. Obviously they'll be on Showdown, but I will be recording with my commentary. And here's to a good season. Good luck to everyone involved. Thanks for watching. Please leave a thumbs up on the video and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.